Hello, and a big welcome. Thank you for joining us here at Movie Show Plus. This is our 6th season premiere, believe it or not, and we have a lot of fun stuff coming up on the show. Of course, all things movies. I am Tom Santilli. I am the co-host and executive producer of Movie Show Plus. I've been a film critic in Detroit since 2010. So glad to be here. My co-host and cohort, Greg Russell, will be along shortly with his usual batch of interviews. But just, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for keeping us on the air. We now, in our 6th season, have gone over 100 episodes since our relaunch in 2018. Of course, Movie Show Plus has been on the air for nearly 20 years in the Detroit market in some way, shape, or form. So we have been here for quite a while. We're the longest running local show, and I'm very proud of it, and we couldn't do it without your support. But we have a lot of cool and fun changes to the way that we're going to present our show moving forward. You may notice, for example, countdown clock in the corner of the screen. If you don't see the countdown clock, that means you're watching a rerun of this program, and we will not be going live. But stick around for some more info on that too. But basically, the countdown clock is to say that at the end, when it gets down to 0, we're going to be joining you for what will now be our ongoing live part of our show. We've tried this out a couple times back in April. We did a live Oscar preview special and another live episode, and we had a lot of fun with it. It's interactive. You can follow us on Facebook or YouTube, or to make it easy, you can just go to our website, movieshowplus.com, and check out the live episode. This part is pre-recorded. If you're watching this right now on WADL, hello, thank you for watching. But if you're watching on television, basically at the end of this program, you can jump over to our website or our YouTube channel or our Facebook page, and you can kind of continue the fun. Tonight, for example, I'm going to be joined by Greg Russell live as we talk about some of these interviews that are coming up in more depth. We're also going to discuss the huge news this week about the purchase of MGM Studios by Amazon. That's pretty big. And I'm also going to be doing some live movie reviews back and forth, kind of like the Siskel and Ebert style, with critic from theonlycritic.com, Nate Adams, who will be joining me live. And we're going to be reviewing films like Cruella, A Quiet Place 2, and a couple others that are in release this weekend. And there is going to be some other fun stuff too. Again, while you're watching the live portion of the show, which begins at 5 o'clock, right at the end of this program, you'll be able to, again, chat, leave comments, and we'll be able to interact with you live. We might also have a couple giveaways or some other cool things that we're doing. So please stick around. And again, if you're watching this, please join us live. This part, of course, again, is pre-recorded, and we're going to come at you with a new format in the way that fans of our show who have been watching us for quite a while might notice some of the segments that we do, but maybe with a little new spin on them. But you can always expect everything movies. So coming up in the next half hour, you're going to have some interviews with Greg Russell coming on up. And also, I'm going to be talking with Ruth Daniels of the Maple Theater. There's a very cool charity event coming up at the Maple Theater on June 11th, where you can take part in. And it's a screening involving In the Heights, which is the new movie that is coming out on June 11th. A lot of hype around that. You know, it's created by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who did Hamilton. So I'll be talking with Ruth about that. And again, we hope you stick around. Hope you stick around through this show. If you're already watching online, then just keep on watching, and this will just kind of segue into our live program. And so let's do this thing. Again, thank you all, and let's get to Movie Show Plus. Here's our first segment with Greg.
I could see this new revolution coming. It was an anticipation of the idea that everything would go wrong, but that music would prevail.
1971, I don't think the music was a reflection of the times as much as the music also caused the times.
It was an incredibly tumultuous year. Politically, socially, musically,
I think the music reflects the state of the society's in.
Gentlemen, great to see you all. How are you?
Great, thanks. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Great. Enjoyed this series very, very much. Binge watched the whole thing yesterday because it was one of those where, once you get started, it's like, okay, I've got to see what's coming up next. And I'll just start out first with director James. When this project was presented to you, this almost had to be like probably one of the greatest holiday gifts given to anyone. I can only imagine.
Absolutely. I mean, when we started on this project, the first thing that happened was all the records started arriving at my house. You can imagine record after record. It was over Christmas time, and that was just, I mean, it was like all my Christmases come at once. And then you have the joy of actually going to go and speak to the people who are involved in the music and involved in the time. And then you spend a year and a half editing, listening to the music all the time. It was a dream job.
I can only imagine. And Steve, now you are also the series director as well as an executive producer. Talk a little about what made you want to get involved with this. And I can only imagine really what it was all this fabulous music.
James Gay Rees kind of found the book and brought the project to the company. So really what happened was it was a continuation and a development of a series of films that we've made together with the editor, Chris King. And so the kind of stylistic thing we'd sort of set up and the way of doing research and archive and how much time we spend doing that was fun. For me, I always kept coming back to one very simple thing, which is if in doubt, just look at the list of artists and the list of albums that were made that year. And if ever you think, whenever the problems arise, of which there were many for all of the creative team, just remember there are so many great pieces of music, so many great artists were involved. There's always a solution somewhere else. I think that's the thing that stood out to me at the beginning, and I still think back to now, because you'd think that would happen every other year, but it doesn't. There was something special that year in 1971.
Absolutely. And now for producer James, I mean, I was a teenager, at that time, and just listening to all the music, and you're thinking, all of this came out at one time. You're lucky nowadays to maybe get, maybe 4 or 5, good songs, but it seems like everything that came out at that time was just over the moon, as the old saying would go, and also music to sit back and think about.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I think a lot of it was a response to the end of the 60s. The 60s had come to this very abrupt end with Kent State, Altamont, Charles Manson, and the Beatles splitting up in December 1970. And I think, people reacted to the end of that 60s dream in very different ways. And we wanted to encapsulate that. Some people ran off to the south of France and took a lot of drugs, and some people wrote protest songs and thought, we've got to say something about what's going on. So, it was a fascinating exercise to look at those different points of view, all within one series, and try to bring them all together because they all complement each other. Do you know what I mean? They're not isolated, those points of view. There's overlap, and they inform each other. And that was a real joy to try and get the engineering of that proposal to work.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was each one, like you said, was just fascinating to see and to, hear about the different things. Because now for director James, one thing that even stood out in, I believe it was episode 7, but it was, and we won't say anything necessarily to give anything away, but when Pete Townsend was talking about the future of, the way things might be seen and used. And back then, 50 years ago, people would have been going, nobody's going to be able to do that. And the reality is we're living right in that now, aren't we?
Who knew that Pete Townsend was such a prophet?
Right.
And throughout the series, there are these moments where you just think, were they looking into the future? And I think maybe that's the thing about really great art, is that it manages to be both about the present and the future at the same time. And, I mean, the moment at the end of the series where David Bowie becomes Ziggy Stardust is just this kind of transcendent moment and this kind of great coming together of everything that's gone before. And as he puts it, sort of inventing the 21st century and changing everything.
All power to the people. I don't think you'll ever see a creative burst like that musically ever again.
These were not just players, they were cultural icons.
We have come through something. And if we can get this far, we can get further.
They took this on, and things changed.
For music was not a soundtrack. It was much more than that.
Luca is a story of friendships that are authentic and only found around a certain age.
We underdogs have to look out for each other, right? Underdogs!
I love this moment in a young person's life, having someone push you out of your comfort zone to discover yourself.
There's a certain innocence to this. It's really kind of beautiful.
Come on!
I had the luck of meeting my best friend Alberto when I was 11. He had a ton of passion and was consciously testing his own fears.
Who's holding the ramp?
The turtle!
I wonder if I would have had the courage to go and chase my career in animation had I not met my best friend.
I really loved watching the friendship between Luca, Julia, and Alberto. I'm hoping that it will bring back a lot of memories for people of summers when they were kids.
My birthday's in the summer, so a lot of really, really good childhood memories of summertime, and it was always a pool party.
Let's go swim. I guess that's how humans swim?
Ugh, that's embarrassing.
Some kids go away to camp, and you're like, where my dogs at? But then the key ones that are in town, they like to party.
These are the friendships that teach us lessons, build your self-esteem, and you have like the sense of belonging.
I got friends that believe in me, who push me. Like, I would tell them an idea that I have, and they'd be like, make it, do it. This movie is the perfect example of that.
Take me, gravity!
These friendships that help us find ourselves. That is really at the heart of the story of Luca.
Tom Santilli here again. I am just reminding you that, again, if you see the countdown clock in the corner, when it gets down to 0, we're going to be going live on our website, movieshowplus.com, as well as our Facebook page, as well as our YouTube channel. I urge you to subscribe to our free e-newsletter, which you can do on our website as well, Movie Show Plus, at any time, movieshowplus.com, that is. And by getting the newsletter, you will be in the loop with what we have going on whenever we have new shows and that sort of thing. You can also be eligible to win some prizes. Like we just recently did some free advanced tickets to A Quiet Place 2 and a movie before that called Profile. So we get some free movie offers and some other stuff. So it's really, if you love movies and you're watching this right now, there's no reason why you shouldn't sign up for that newsletter. Again, with the new format of our show, we're gonna this part is pre-taped. We're gonna go to a live segment at 5 o'clock. If you don't see a countdown clock, that means that you're watching this on rerun on WADL, which is totally fine. In that case, though, our live episode should be up on our sites. So you could, when you finish watching this, just go there anyway and watch what was a live episode, which is now living online. So just so you guys all know too, this is kind of not only our new format, but our plan is to come to you more regularly in terms of once a month, where you can kind of rely on us coming to you with a new episode. Right now, the plan is to do one new episode per month, followed by a live show. So it's the first live show is going to be May 30th. And then you can still watch the show on WADL regularly. We'll have some episodes in between there that will be either reruns or special episodes. And then our next new episode right now is planned for June 27th. That is the end of June, and so on and so forth as we trek forward. One other really important note that I want to make is our show is on the air because of the help of our sponsors and advertisers. If you are a sponsor or want to be a sponsor or own a business or know somebody that we could help advertise for or even feature on the show, contact us. Go to movieshowplus.com for more information on advertising. And then also, even if you're just watching the show as a fan, we're asking people to help us out with via Patreon. If you go to patreon.com, you can pledge as little as $3 a month to that goes just towards the production of the show and helping us stay on the air. A lot of people love our show and they watch it all the time, but they're not helping us out financially, which is okay. We understand, times are tough and all that kind of stuff. However, we are not looking to make a profit. We are looking to keep our show on the air and to keep bringing you specials and features. And the more of a budget that we have, the more we can do and the more we can bring you local movie coverage, which we feel is very important. So anyway, think about doing that if you haven't already. And who knows, you can also see your name in the end credits being a Patreon sponsor. That being said, here's more with Greg Russell.
We call our food soul food.
Cheers.
This type of food, you can feel when you eat it.
Ah, that aroma.
The truth is, a lot of American food has its roots in African American food, traditions, and ingenuity.
And you see, it already smells like mac and cheese. This standard yummy dish has a really old history.
I'm Steven Satterfield, and I'm on a journey to uncover the stories of African American food and meet the new generation preserving our history.
Hey, Steven, how are you?
Great. Pleasure to talk to you.
A pleasure here too as well. And gotta tell you, I know you've probably heard from everybody. You watch the episodes and immediately it's like, I gotta go upstairs and make something.
We are hearing that. That's good.
It was just looking so good. But the best part, or one of the best parts, and the thing I really enjoyed was not only is it about the food, but it's about the history. And you know, you start off taking us back to Africa. And what was that experience like for you?
It was really an incredible experience. It was an experience that was heightened by the fact that I was accompanied by Dr. J, who is a personal hero of mine. And so, you know, being in Africa, I've been to Africa before, but certainly not, you know, I guess with this much intention and certainly not with this much visibility. But, you know, going to Africa, I think for me is an experience that, you know, for many Black folks who return to the continent or to respective homelands, is really about closing the gap of separation, you know, once you are detached from the place from which you've descended or emanated. And so it's just very powerful being on the continent, very powerful to be there with Dr. J and to be in her presence.
No, that's right. Like I said, it was just a great history lesson all the way around. So like I said, hopefully people will definitely check it out. And, you know, like I said, learn something and then probably decide, I got to go make something to eat. So when you do the next one, come on up here to Detroit and we'll get you into some good places.
I love Detroit. Much love. Thank you, Greg.
Wow. This is a showstopper.
Our story is America.
Well, hey, I'm back with a usual guest of ours on Movie Show Plus here. Hey, Ruth, how's it going?
Great, Tom. How are you?
I am doing great. How are things at the Maple?
Well, it's getting a little busier, so it's good. We're open most days, and I see attendance increasing.
Well, that's really cool. You know, it's we've kind of checked in with you, you know, on and off throughout the whole pandemic last year, and kind of as we've been coming out of it. And it's just good. Like the Maple being honestly one of my favorite theaters locally. It's just good that you guys are still there and thriving. And I think that also I want to say too that with Como's Pizza being there, I think it's looking better than ever. I just love it there.
Thank you. Yeah, I think they did an excellent job on their decorating in Como's, the remodel. Yeah. And the food's really good. If you feel like pizza, boy, can't be beat. And pizza in a movie is great. And so, and it always smells like pizza there too.
That's not a bad thing. Yeah, that's not a bad thing at all.
Yeah, popcorn pizza, you know.
Well, you know what's funny with me? This is completely not related, but you know, as much of a movie person as I am, that I don't like popcorn.
Really? Well, it's interesting. Yeah, no, well, it's interesting because when I was a little girl, my mom loved popcorn and always got popcorn at the movies. And I was kind of trained to eat it, but I didn't love it. And then as I worked in a theater, you know, I ate more of it. But I only have popcorn at the movies. That's all it is. And I have to get it at the movies. I have to. I might only eat a couple handfuls, but I have to get it.
I think, well, that, it's funny about too, I know we're completely segueing, which is fine, but like people, when the pandemic started, they were more upset about the popcorn at a lot. Like, why would I watch the movie at home on streaming? I can't get the popcorn. Like, the popcorn is such a part of the experience. And for me, it's really a strange thing. I need to get it analyzed, but like, I love the smell of popcorn in a theater. Like when I walk in and I smell that and I'm there. But like microwave popcorn at home is like my least favorite smell on the planet. Like if I smell microwave popcorn, like I'll like run out of the house.
Understand. Yeah.
But anyway, enough about me. Let's get on to talking about what's going on with the Maple. Now there is something very cool coming up, a charity event at the Maple Theater. Tell the people about it.
It's for Variety, the children's charity, and it's on June 11th, which is a Friday night. And the theater will be closed except for this party. We're going to have 3 premiere screenings of In the Heights, Lin-Manuel Miranda's new film.
Awesome.
And it was based on his first play, I believe.
Yep.
And it's supposed to be excellent. I've heard nothing but good things about it already.
Yep.
And what we're doing is it's a strolling supper and then a movie. And we're opening at 5 o'clock for dinner to begin. And if you're coming to the 6:30, you can come anytime before 6:30 to eat. There's a 7:30 and there's an 8:30 show.
Okay.
And it does include the dinner, it includes cocktails, and it includes popping popcorn.
That's awesome. So there's kind of like 3 chances to do this based on the different screening times?
Correct. And we have all 3 theaters showing it so that we have plenty of seats.
How awesome is that? And the movie itself too is one of those movies that I was super excited to watch it last year. Of course, it was one of the many movies that got moved. But this is one of those movies that you really want to see on the big screen too. It's like one of those, from what I'm hearing, it's just one of those like community movies, that you want to watch with an audience and react with an audience. So I think this is an awesome movie to kind of have this event centered around.
Thank you. Yeah, we're really excited too. I mean, I think it might be this year's La La Land.
Yeah.
Because we will have this year's West Side Story later, but I think it will be very popular. And what better way to see it and support a charity? And tickets are on sale on the Maples website or at the box office.
So Ruth, that is a very cool event. Can you tell us a little bit too about the actual charity?
Yeah, Variety, the children's charity, is all over the country, and the entertainment industry supports it. The studios support it. All movie theaters are members in it. And in Detroit here, I've been working with them, gosh, I would say my whole career, which is about, over 30 years. And we've done lots of events, and they're just a great thing.
You've been working in the industry since you were 5 years old? That's amazing.
Exactly. Thank you, Tom.
Oh, you're welcome.
But yeah, they help all children with all sorts of different things. At Christmas time, they do a big bike thing where they give bikes out plus presents. And they have events all through the year. They have a golf outing coming up too. And their website, variety-detroit.com.
Well, I really, again, this is it's a merging of everything. You can help support and be at the Maple Theater watching one of the summer's most highly anticipated movies while helping charity. It just seems like an awesome event that you guys are doing. So thank you for coming on and telling us about it. And then in the short term too, I want to mention also that there's a movie that's playing right now at the Maple that people can go see. And I know it's playing beyond Memorial Day here through the rest of the week until Thursday, I think, is a film called Shepherd, the story of a Jewish dog, which I reviewed and I thought was fantastic.
It's a very good film and people will enjoy it.
All right. Well, Ruth, thank you again. Stay safe. And I hope people will see you soon at the Maple. And I know I will. And until next time, my friend.
Thank you.
Okay, another episode is nearing the books, but if you've been watching or paying attention during this last half hour, you will know that we are about to start our live episode right as that countdown clock over there gets down to 0. You can join us on our website, again, movieshowplus.com, or our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. It will be streaming live across all of those platforms. I'll be joined with Greg Russell as we'll talk a little about the acquisition of MGM by Amazon. And I got Nate Adams from theonlycritic.com joining me to do some Siskel and Ebert style reviews of the new films this weekend, Cruella, as well as A Quiet Place 2 and some other films. And we have some bonus content and some other things we're going to be doing during the live portion of our show. So stick around. If you don't see the countdown clock, that means that we've already done the live show. You're watching a rerun of this, and you can find the live show no longer live, but you can find it on our website as well. So you can still participate in that way. If you're watching live, though, give us your comments, ask questions, give us your feedback on whatever platform you're watching, whether you're watching it on YouTube or Facebook. We will see those comments pop up live, and we'll be able to respond and react to them in real time. So that's cool. I also urge everybody to go watch these movies as they come out, because when our show airs on Sunday, hopefully you've already had a chance to see some of these films. So like, for example, when we're reviewing Cruella, and you may or may not disagree or agree with one of us, you may have had a chance to see the film yourself, and so you can participate in it. That's what I love about film, is the idea that we can all chat about it and participate, and you kind of hear what other people, how it affected other people, and you can share how it affected you. And that's what I love about movies, is kind of the sharing of it and the talking about it. So all of that being said, as you see, we're getting closer and closer to the countdown clock getting to 0, and we'll be live coming up shortly. There might be a little delay in between here, but just stick around. Again, if you're watching this on WADL, you're going to want to jump over online to watch the live show. If you're watching this already online, just hang out and the live show will come to you momentarily, probably with a quick outfit change from me. All right. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching Movie Show Plus and supporting us. We're in season 6. We're going to be here once a month, all summer, all year long. And we hope that you participate in our show. We love movies. We know you do too. Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon. Actually, in a couple seconds here.
Check out MovieShowPlus.com to watch this episode online, and for exclusive content, extended interviews with Greg Russell, and a complete archive of movie reviews with Tom Santilli. Also, make sure to like and follow us on social media and on our Movie Show Plus YouTube channel.
What's up, everybody? We're live. I'm Tom Santilli, as the graphic says on the screen, and I'm super happy to be here live to talk movies. We're going to be joining Greg Russell here momentarily. A little later on the show, I'm going to have Nate Adams of theonlycritic.com. But yeah, just to kind of rebrief what we're doing, we have a new show format. As you just saw, we have kind of our normal episode. We're going to start coming out every month. followed by a live show. If you're looking for the movie review segment, it's going to be usually during the live series. I'll either have Nate or maybe a rotating critics kind of joining me on here. So it'll be lots of fun all the time. Let me pull up for you guys, though, a quick graphic, just so you know. Here you go, guys. MovieShowPlus.com is the place to be. You can watch full episodes online. All of Greg's interviews are online. All of my written movie reviews are online, dating back to the beginning of my film critic career, which was like over a decade now, crazy enough. And then the other thing I want to let you know is later in the show, we will be giving out tickets to see The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. Not my kind of movie, but I have actually somehow avoided all of the Conjuring movies throughout my movie career. But we will be kind of raffling off the winners of Conjuring tickets. We're giving out 5 pairs. So that's 10 tickets total, 5 pairs. In order to win, you have to subscribe to our e-newsletter list, because that's where we're picking them from. So I'm going to put this up on the screen here for a second too. You guys see the QR code on there? Little technical glitches are because I'm switching the show live, and it's a live show, and I'm in my basement in front of a green screen bookcase, so I can do whatever I want. So please bear with me, and thanks for joining again. But anyway, that QR code in the middle in the screen there, you scan it, and it'll take you right to the part of our website where you can sign up for our free e-newsletter. Stay in touch with me and Greg, what's up with the show, what we have coming up. But the coolest part about being on the mailing list, which is free again, by the way, is it makes you eligible for these kinds of giveaways and some of the things that we're doing. So in order to win the Conjuring tickets, you must be a subscriber to the Movie Show Plus newsletter. It is not too late to subscribe. So we hope that you do, and we'll be doing that a little bit later in the show. The reason I flash this graphic here with Patreon is because if you are a Patreon follower of ours, you can actually increase your chances of winning some of our raffles. You get an extra ballot or an extra chance to win for every $1 that you pledge us. So, for example, if you get in at the lowest support level of $3 a month and you're on our newsletter, you get 4 total chances to win. So if you pledge $5, you get 5 extra chances, $20. You guys get it. Math. So without further ado, let's bring Greg in, and we're going to talk about some movies. So let me see where Greg's at.
Hello.
Greg Russell.
How are you?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Well, you know, normally I'm in my basement, like you're in your basement now, but we've got somebody in our
right.
basement, so I have to be in a room upstairs, which is like, this is weird. I couldn't figure out how to do.
I thought you might have been. Yeah, I thought you might have been locked in a bunker somewhere or something. I haven't seen you outside of your little cool movie cave in the basement there.
I know, but I'm here. Glad to be here. This is fun, Tom, as always.
Absolutely, Greg. Absolutely. So let me figure out this. Okay. Go. Again, some technical. There we go. There we go.
Oh, we just flipped.
Just around. Okay. Woohoo!
And,
so,
and I see
Greg,
coming in now. Hello, Dave Garr from A Dream Limousine.
Hey, Dave Garr. What's happening, man? Yeah. So one cool thing is, when you comment, if you're watching this on Facebook or our website or our YouTube channel, when you comment, we can actually see them live. So we will occasionally be commenting and responding in real time. Keep it clean, especially Dave Garr out there. I know him, you know, so. But no, so yeah, thank you. And this will be an interactive thing, but Greg, people just who watched the show, the actual episode that was at 4:30.
Yeah.
We ran a couple segments with you, and I thought maybe you could just give the people like some, behind the scenes, or just talk a little bit more about them in depth. But the first one was a new Apple TV Plus series called 1971, the year that music changed everything.
And
then of course your Canterbury Village stuff.
Mhm.
And then the third one was that new Netflix series, which also made me very hungry, called High on the Hog.
There you go. Wow.
So
Yeah.
why don't you tell people about those series?
Well, like you said, 1971, the year music changed everything. It did. I did not realize, excuse me, how much great music came out that year and how many people really just started, getting their careers going, like David Bowie as an example, and some others. But, like Marvin Gaye, 50 years ago, that's when the, What's Going On LP came out. And now people are saying, they consider that to be like the top album, of all time. Plus also George Harrison did his first concert, the benefit for Bangladesh, and John Lennon and Yoko Ono were leading, peace walks throughout New York City, and just so much other stuff music wise. It was all of a sudden these people weren't just entertainers, but they were, trying to save or change, different things in the world. They wanted to get help for, all different types of folks. So, I mean, that one, like I said, I believe it's seven episodes. I watched them all in 2 nights, Tom. I mean, it was like, whoa, just, that good. So yeah, if you get an opportunity and have Apple TV Plus, yeah, for sure. Check that one out. And then next up, you said was Canterbury Village. Yes, I was.
Yeah. What's going on there?
I was hired to be their special reporter for WDNO TV. They've got the Dino Stroll going on out there, which if you can, folks, check it out, on our website, the interviews and things I was doing for that. Tom, these things are unbelievable. You really will believe that you're seeing real dinosaurs, and they're not just small. I mean, they've got large ones, medium-sized ones, whatever size, you want, they have got, and they just are so real. Because at first when they asked me, I thought, what's this going to be like? A bunch of people in Barney outfits running around, hey.
Right.
But it's just phenomenal. And these costumes are just amazing. Because there are actually people inside of them, but what they have in there to work with is just
You mean they're not real dinosaurs?
Well, the one we found was real. That's for sure. Oh, Dino the dinosaur. Yep, he was real. But yeah, that one was good. Really good. And then the third one, again, Tom, refresh my memory. Which one was that?
It was High on the Hog, the new Netflix series.
Oh, that's right. It's a documentary series, folks. And what it is, it's about African-American food, how when the people came, during the slave trade, they brought their recipes with them from Africa, and just talking about how the food, has definitely become a part of the American culture and American society, really for everyone, and just where, different things started. And also even just about, like different flavorings, because in the beginning they didn't have, all the seasonings that we do now, or for the most part, people were actually, they made their own, which is the stuff that, you now would go to a gourmet shop to buy. But just about how important the food was, and then how the stuff that at one point was considered, garbage is now a delicacy. And, people are paying high on the hog to get some of these things, for themselves at stores. But yeah, it's, like I said, it shows you, how the food is made, but also has a lot of great history. So again, that's another one to check out.
Well, that's awesome. And again, all of these segments are available on our website. And you can even watch the episode if you just missed it. That just aired. But Greg, while I have you here,
yes, sir,
we're going to talk about movies. Like what else? What else are we going to do?
I know.
Let me get in first, though, with just the weekend box office. Some of these numbers, I'm going to read some of these numbers off. Okay. So A Quiet Place 2 this weekend made $19.3 million on Friday, wow. $14.9 million on Saturday. And that puts it on pace for a projected 4-day gross of $58.5 million.
Not bad.
A 3-day gross of $48.4 million. And the reason why that's significant is because the first A Quiet Place that came out pre-pandemic made $50.2 million in its first 3 days. So it actually almost matched the numbers of the original film. I mean, the box office is back officially as of this weekend.
Great. And I mean, I know you saw the movie as well in the theater, didn't you? A Quiet Place. Yep.
Yes, absolutely.
It was just, great to be there because, again, I was watching it and enjoying, everything on the big screen. And then I started thinking, now, if this hadn't happened and if they still had it out, I'd be at home. Now, true enough, all of us have like large screens in our home, but it was like, it certainly would not have had this same effect and feel, no matter what, by watching at home. So I'm so glad that one did get to that way. And folks, it's a kicker. If you get a chance, go check that movie out.
Well, it's so refreshing because it seems like for the last year we've just been talking about when are movie theaters going to come back? When are theaters going to open? This movie opened on almost 4,000 screens.
Yeah.
So I mean, and by the way, Cruella also made like 26 million, which might have been a little lower because that film is available on Disney Plus on the same day for a premium, like $30 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But combined, this is the biggest weekend for sure since pre-pandemic, and it makes me think: do you feel like now that there's actual confidence that people are coming back to the theater, do you feel like we might see movies start to kind of get moved up the schedule? Like, do you think that the summer might populate with some of these ones they've been sitting on?
I think so. I mean, I know that Daniel Craig really wants the James Bond movie to come up because he's tired of putting on the same outfits doing reshoots. So
right.
I know that they will be happy for that. And probably a lot of others, that are the big ones, like you said, that should be seen on a big screen. They'll probably now just go, start it out that way. Because to my understanding, what is going to be happening now with a lot of them is they'll start out like the first 2 weeks in the movie theater, then boom, straight to whatever streaming service, that these people have attachments with. So, you can still wait to see it at home. But if you get a chance, I mean, it's, again, nothing like that. Because when you mentioned Cruella, I saw that one at the theater too. And then we watched it 2 days ago here at home because we got the screener. And I even told my family, I said, it is such a big difference. Because I enjoyed that movie. As you probably told people, it's not a kid movie, folks. So don't take your 5-year-old going, hey, you're going to hear about 101 Dalmatians. No, you're not. So,
right.
But just watching it there in the theater and then watching it here at home, it was like, wow. Yeah, I mean, truly, folks, there truly is a difference. Not that we didn't know that in the first place, but, since we haven't had that for a long time, it just felt good.
I'm looking here. I'm reading some of these comments. Is why my eyes had deterred. Let's kind of turn to the people for a minute, and just kind of get some of what people are saying online as they're watching. Frank Berman just asked us a question. Do you guys have a favorite movie that you watched during Memorial Day weekend?
I'm trying to think because
me. Yeah. Well, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I can definitely take the 4th of July. That's Jaws. So. Always that time. But no, what is yours, Tom?
I like watching, I don't know if they're patriotic or not, but like I like all the Jack Ryan movies, like Clear Present Danger and Patriot Games and that sort of thing. These days on Memorial Day weekend, I'm usually just watching whatever screeners I have to watch for what's out. I'm not getting to a lot of old movies.
Yeah, I know. Well. And then also,
a comment from Brandon Rowells. He's really enjoying 1971. He said, "Yeah, I see that.
Way to go, Brandon. Yeah, it is. It's fascinating. A fascinating series. If anybody out there, else gets to check it out, you'll enjoy."
And let's see. We got another comment here from Noreen. Hi, Noreen.
Hi, Noreen.
Oh, Amazon bought MGM. What? That's exactly it. That's a good segue because that's our next topic, Greg. Amazon is buying, or it's in the process of happening. MGM for $8 billion. That's with a B.
Yes.
If you had $8 billion, Greg, what would you do with it?
Probably try
MGM?
to hide it because I can see it now. The government will be going, wait a minute, how did this happen? No, I would take care of all my family and friends, people like you and Dave and everybody else, who's out there and stuff like that. But nice. That's a good deal. And, for some reason, I'm also thinking Amazon will probably be able to get the MGM brand back up where it should have always been. I mean, for those of you who are a little younger, you may not know, but MGM at one time was the crown jewel studio, Hollywood. I mean, they were
absolutely
right at the top and everybody else was just kind of following up. Well, just, as time goes on, also what began to happen, especially like when even like Louis B. Mayer was still in charge, didn't keep up with the times. It's kind of like, no, this worked in 1930, so it's going to work again here in 1950. And it's like, no, it's not. And so just, other studios got bigger. They begin to use or have different types of genres of movies. And MGM just kind of, slumped down, and because at one point in time, I think
Right.
3 other studios all owned MGM at the same time, or at least, one faction here, one faction there, one over there. But, now with Amazon getting it, yeah, I do. I think that they'll, put it back in there, get it back up on top as far as a name or something, that you want to go to as a studio. Plus, also, once the sale goes through, it's free delivery to Bezos, as far as getting it. He doesn't even have to pay the studio. It's free delivery, Amazon Prime.
That's what you said is absolutely right. MGM in recent years has become more of a licensing company where they kind of have licensed out their properties. And that's why it's so, nobody really knows what this deal is going to lead to, because it's so murky, because all of their rights are all over the place, owned by everybody.
Right.
For example, with the Bond films, they are not owned. The creative approval would have to come from the Broccoli family.
Yeah.
Still, Barbara Broccoli and family. So even though Amazon would have the distribution rights, they wouldn't just be able to say, hey, let's go make a Blofeld movie or something,
Right.
which would be really cool, by the way.
and then wonder,
all these spin-offs and things like that. They're probably going to bolster their streaming site with all of these titles that they've gotten. RoboCop, Legally Blonde, Dumb and Dumber. I mean, these aren't huge titles, but it's a lot more than what Amazon Prime had to begin with.
Right. Because I wonder, does Turner Classic Movies, way back when, they bought the original MGM library, way back.
Yes.
So I wonder if they still own it, or, Lord knows
Well,
what.
yeah.
That.
That is now, it's a good point, but that is actually now on HBO Max. So it's actually owned by Warner Media. Gone with the Wind and, Wizard of Oz and all the old MGM titles are still going to be not related to Amazon at the moment.
Right. Yep.
Until Disney buys Amazon next year for like 8 bajillion with a J.
Yeah, no, just one big fish swallowing up the other big fish. But
yeah, that's what it's been like over the decades, hasn't it been?
It has been. It's kind of like, can't beat them, buy them. Let's get it.
Hey, Greg, thanks for joining me on the show here. Before you go,
yes,
the new format, we're gonna be coming to people more once a month, hopefully with cooler content, live content like we're doing now, interaction with our guests.
Yay!
But what do you have going on? Anything you can tell us about over the next month, or any interviews that that you're looking forward to?
One that I'm really looking forward to this week, and I mean, this is kind of like a dream come true. You know how you always have the people who you grew up watching and admiring, and when you finally get to meet them or talk to them, it's something really special. Got an interview coming up this week with Rita Moreno. There's a new documentary about her, and also she's in the new version of West Side Story as well. So really looking forward to that. I mean, that's kind of like, I'm just going to sit there and do the Chris Farley thing. Do you remember that time when you were in that movie? And she is the original GOAT as far as entertainment. Academy Award, Emmy Award, Tony Award, and Grammy Award. I mean, she's got them all.
EGOT, they call it. Yeah, you're right. EGOT.
Yep.
She's also the GOAT, greatest of all time. But
that's right.
EGOT, yeah.
That's right. So
cool, man. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I thought somebody was in your IFB. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, we got a little delay. But no, Greg, that's awesome. I look forward to the Marina interview coming out on our website and our social. This is a good time to plug our e-newsletter again. Let me find that. There we go. And Greg, thank you so much for being here today, man. And I'm sure I'll see you around soon, man.
Sounds good. And maybe hopefully soon we'll also have the Movie Show Plus wearable. So working on that.
Yes. That is super fun.
Yepper. But yeah, Tom.
When are we going to get matching tattoos at one point?
I think so. We started out. Here's mine still. I got the dot. And I think you've got the other dot.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd
Hey,
be
this gun show. We've got to charge money for that kind of thing.
right. That'd be the one where both of our wives would be watching the show saying, "Where are those two idiots?"
Yeah, I know, right?
Find us. But yeah, man, thanks again. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Everybody out there, thanks for joining in. I'm loving looking at this list here of all the people.
Yeah, right? Super duper cool. And just love that people are tuning in.
And how. All righty. Well, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, Tom.
All right. Take it easy, man. So there's a Greg Russell for you right there. Greg Russell sighting. And before we get to Nate Adams, stick around because when we come back from this little short commercial break, where we're going to pump up some of our sponsors, I'm going to be talking about Cruella and A Quiet Place 2 with the only critics, Nate Adams. So stick around for that, as well as your chance to win the Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It tickets. All right. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
So I am at the Maple Theater right now. Right behind me to my right, you can walk through the doors and go straight over to Como's. Something that people don't know is that Peas and Carrots Hospitality took it over about 2 years ago when they reopened. And the Detroit style pizza that we serve now is a signature of ours that they did not have before. So it is a new and improved Como's. If they want to find us on social media, our Instagram is @Como's Restaurant. Our Facebook is Como's Ferndale. It is both Como's Ferndale and Como's Bloomfield. They can find us at comosrestaurant.com. They can also download our Como's app or text the number 33733 and they will receive a link to download the app, and they get 20% off their first purchase.
How would you like to see the city of Detroit like you've never seen it before? On Russell Brothers City Tours, we take you to the places that you know, but the fun part is we take you to places that you probably don't know. Hi, I'm Greg Russell of Russell Brothers City Tours. Come on, let's get on board and take a tour of the city of Detroit. Where Russell Brothers City Tours started was actually in the winter of 2017. My wife and I and our daughter and her husband were at an event downtown Detroit. So when heading back home, I always ask, can I take the scenic route, which means just going Woodward straight north. Normally, my wife would always say, just take the freeway. But this time I think it was my holiday gift, so she said, go ahead and take your scenic route. So as we're going up Woodward, I'm pointing out certain places and certain things, what they used to be, what used to be here, what happened in certain things. And my daughter was going, Pop, you know so much about the city, why don't you just give a tour? And it made me think, you know what, that's a good idea. So I got home and I called my brother Cliff Russell, and some of you may remember Cliff. He was a guy who knew everything about the city of Detroit, was deeply involved with the community. So I called him and I told him the idea, and he said, okay, hey Greg, you put it together and I'll be there. So we were all set. We were going to do it in 2018. Well, unfortunately, in February of 2018, my brother Cliff passed away from a heart attack. And it was devastating to our family, but it made me think even more about doing this tour. And that's why it's still called Russell Brothers City Tours. It is my tribute and my honor to my brother. So when I go around town, I tell people all about the places here and even talk about some of the stuff that Cliff did in the community. People sometimes ask, what's the difference between our company as compared to other tour companies? Well, one thing that we like to do is show you stuff that we're pretty sure you probably never have seen or heard of in the city of Detroit. Also, we let you at times customize your own tour. There might be some particular things that you want to see, where we don't just say, okay, no, we're stuck to our schedule and our thing. You want to go see something, we will take you to see it. We'd love to hear from you. Just give us a call, 313-399-0683, or go to our website, Russell Brothers City Tours, or on all social media. Come on, we'd love to take you for a ride.
Okay, joining me in a couple seconds here will be Nate Adams. We are going to bring him in now. Let's do that right away. All right, if, like I said, as my computer cooperates with me as I live switch my own show. Hey, Nate.
Oh, how's it going? Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, there we are. Hey.
Hello.
Live television anymore.
That is right. That is right.
No, Nate, thanks, man. We're about to talk about Cruella and A Quiet Place 2. Let's
Movies are
kick
back.
into Cruella to start off. Just again, one quick second, everybody.
Let me give you some advice. You can't care about anyone else. Everyone else is an obstacle. You care what an obstacle.
So, Cruella, it's the most recent Disney villain and franchise to get the live-action big screen treatment. You may already remember that they've given us 2 Maleficent movies. Emma Stone stars as Cruella
there was
DeVille,
2 of those.
along with Emma Thompson, Joel Fry, Mark Strong, Michigan's own Paul Walter Hauser. It's a PG-13 rated origin story that is big on style and production value, if not cohesive storytelling. I'll get to that in a minute. It's got a bold early 1970s soundtrack, incredible costumes, hair and makeup, and I'm almost certain that most moviegoers will love Cruella. However, and that's a big however, I, for one, was kind of in the middle on this. I liked it. I wanted to really like it. It just felt like too many other movies that were kind of combined into like some Frankenstein's monster of a movie. I felt like it borrowed from like other Disney movies. Lion King, for example, the ending. I don't want to give away anything. We're spoiler free here. But Nate, let's turn it over to you first, and then I'll defend all of my points. But what did you think of Cruella? What was your overall take?
I really enjoyed Cruella. I think you kind of poked at the sound check a little bit. I think some of the music was a little bit too jukeboxy. I mean, because of course it's made by Disney, so Disney kind of has the budget that they can have any song that they want, right? I didn't mind some of the choices. There's one right before the closing credits that I'm sure induced eye rolls in Mr. Santilli while he was watching it. It's kind of a bit overdone, but I didn't like Mulan. I didn't like Dumbo. I thought that those films felt too much like they were Disney films. And I was watching Cruella, and about halfway through it, I said to myself, it does not feel like I'm watching a Disney movie. This movie has its own style. It has its own swagger. Emma Thompson almost steals the show, going all Meryl Streep Devil Wears Prada on us. Emma Stone, it's no surprise that Emma Stone chose this as her first lead role post-Oscar, because like she got to dig into a very prominent.
Okay. You make some points.
Change my mind.
Some people might consider consider that valid. Here's what I disagree with you on, and it's actually the biggest point of it all, which is I think this film, more than any other Disney film, is more Disney-fied than anything else that I've seen.
I don't know.
The reason I say that is, why do we need in our lives like origin stories of everything? All these villains. You know, with this movie being successful, they've already done Maleficent, like I mentioned. It's only a matter of time till we get an Ursula movie and a Captain Hook movie. Can't some of these characters just be left alone, or is there nothing sacred? And I know the answer to that already. No, there of course is nothing sacred when it comes to Disney.
Yeah, I think
I felt like the why of this movie. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I was just, you're asking, like, do we need this movie? Of course we don't need this movie. We don't need half of the adaptations that Disney puts out. We didn't need a live-action Mulan. We didn't need a live-action Dumbo. But you know what? Nostalgia sells. And I guess my thinking is, if we're going to get these films anyway, which we are, it's going to happen. All those things you said are true. We're going to get an Ursula film. We might get a Captain Hook film. It's going to happen. Right? So keep happening. I hope they happen more in the Cruella and not in the vein of Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, because that was just painful.
Well, see, but here was the part to me that was painful too. So, like, there are some movies that I would categorize like Cruella, which they kind of think that they're so confident in their uniqueness, or that they're in their boldness, their style, that they almost they're like convincing the audience, like, hey, look at us, we're super cool. This movie to me was like kind of beat you over the head in that way. But if you like look at the story, it was all over the place, Nate. I mean, it was like, and I don't want to be like hoity-toity critic on this film either, because I like I said at the beginning, I really feel like people will like this film. People who go and buy a ticket to Cruella are going to enjoy themselves. I just asked the question, why can't these movies be better? Why can't they be bold in their thinking of it instead of just hobbling together? We'll talk off camera. I don't want to give away like what I'm talking about specifically, but there's a part that happens near the end that is literally directly lifted from The Lion King. And it's like, they can't even go outside of Disney to steal their movie ideas.
Well,
like,
Tom,
it seems lazy.
You're talking about, make it better. See, to me, this is better. I'm in the opposite camp. I thought this was great. You're saying to make it better. I don't know. I think this is about as it's from Greg Gillespie. Is that his last? I think that's he's the director who directed I, Tonya.
Sure, Gillespie.
And Gillespie. Yep. And he brings flavor to this villain origin story. Like I said, the costumes, you talk about the costumes, there's not a world in which this movie doesn't get nominated for all the costuming work, and the production design is really good. And Emma Thompson is so great. She's so devilish and she just sinks in. And Emma Thompson too, they kind of go at it a few times, and it's just, it had pizzazz for me. It was just fire. And shout out to our boy, Saginaw born Paul Walter Hauser coming in as the fun comic side relief. I don't know. A lot of aspects of this film worked for me. Yes, was it a little lengthy? Absolutely, could have trimmed a little bit off. But as for someone that was expecting something a little more Disney-fied, and I know you said it is, but I was expecting complete Disney, the overreach of Disney. Didn't feel like that to me, so I was a big fan.
We're getting word right now that our stream was down. They put our stream down for airing part of that trailer audio, which is ridiculous because we have all the rights to play all of this. So that's unfortunate. If you're watching this on YouTube or our website, you could still watch this. We're streaming on Facebook.
Live TV.
We'll be working
Live
behind
TV.
the scenes to see what we can do on that. Yeah, I know. So
Disney heard you talking about how much you didn't like Cruella, and they had to shut it down. That's what it is.
Right?
Disney's like,
Holy
shut
moly.
that overlord down.
Give me 1 quick second here, Nate. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm talking about it right now. All right, 1 second, Nate. Give me 1 second, everybody. Live television.